welcome to Raymies Garage. I've got a wee job on the go now, and today's job is going to be underneath the car, and I'll dive under there and let you see what we're going to be trying to attempt on this Range Rover L405. So the plan is to remove this guard for the fuel tank because of the rust. This bit's not too bad, but this bit over here is pretty bad. So you see the tank pretty exposed there. So there is a bit of a story behind this about buying another one, and I'll probably get to that later on, but the idea is we're going to take this off and we'll see if we can repair it by cutting out material. If we can't, we'll just buy another one, and that's what the plan is. To take this off, I do believe we need to get the exhaust off, which will be interesting because I've never had the exhaust off in this car, and we need to take the drive shaft off, going right to the back here in that spline, and at the front, move over this way, if I get my camera right, is the drive shaft bolts which are up there, and we'll get these trays off of these heat shields, the exhaust. I think we'll have to go up there somewhere to get that off, and the other side, if I can reach over, which isn't too bad, which exhausts there, and we'll get these sensors unplugged. So that's the plan. We'll get the under trays off shortly, and we'll work our way along the car to get, turning this camera all over the place, all this stuff off. There's an exhaust bracket there. Where else is exhaust on? There's Mr. Spot looking for us. There's probably a couple of bolts back there. But yeah, so that's my problem. The question is, do I repair it or do I just replace it? So let's start taking some of the heat shields off. Well, I'll get them off after I take the exhaust off. We'll get the under front trays off, then we'll just work out what we're going to do next. So I'm going to take this wee under tray off. I'm just taking things off now that are easy to remove because it's getting a wee bit dark outside here in sunny Scotland. So we take that off. We could probably loosen these bolts here and get it moved about to see what other bolts we need to take off. So I think there's one under here and that one there, and these wee ones which are a bit corroded. This one here, well, I need to take this whole thing off, or we can drop that down a wee bit, taking some of the nuts off. However, I think I might be able to get a wee spanner in there. We'll see. If it means taking all this off, then that's what we'll do. What else have we done? I'm going to do, so let's move it to this side. So looking at the exhaust there, I think I might take it off from here and get these bolts renewed, and we'll clean that up a wee bit. That's just after the catalytic converter. I think that's the cat, and that's the DPF, yeah. So just after the cat, and we'll get the ones up here. This is just coming out the transfer case, this shaft here. They look pretty good nick. We're going to take this sensor off. There is a cable up there. It's quite awkward to get to, so I'm going to try and see if I can just slacken that, although it's a bit on the dangerous side. But I've soaked that in penetrating fluid. I've soaked that in penetrating fluid, and I think these ones are going to have to be burned off or sawn off in some kind of way. That's the plan. So we'll split it here and take this whole pipe off here, and I'll just check at the back, see what's holding it on at the back, and no doubt a couple of bolts. So the other thing we need to do, bring the light over a bit, is rather than disconnecting all the DPF pressure sensor hoses and connections, I'm just going to disconnect them from here. So these are the two pipes that lead up to the DPF sensor. It sits away up in there, if you're interested. The handle's catching something there. So yeah, take the A2 off, that whole thing will come down. And that bit of the exhaust doesn't look great, to be honest with you. That bit there with all the rust on it. I'll see if I can tidy that up a wee bit. I might even weld a more secure strap on that if I feel obliged to do so, or I've got the materials, but that's the plan. Right, so let's just jag some of these off. Hopefully be alright and not snap. Oh god, I can't even get it on the nut of the bolt. Next one. Oh. And the other one is over here. Oh, well, that's so wobbly, is it? Me. There's three, and the other one over here. And so what we've got in here is the centre bearing for the drive shaft. Right, a wee camera error there. So this is the centre bearing for the drive shaft. And I do believe you can't actually replace that without splitting it in some way. And I've taken this other tray off. That's someone lying down there. And you've got this galvanic corrosion here, where the aluminium's hitting the steel. And right down here, these two here have actually snapped off. Give it a more light on that. Yeah, so these two bits here, two bits here have actually snapped off from here and at the other side. So these are lugs that are actually on the fuel tank shield cover. So that'll be interesting to try and see if I can manufacture a way of putting that back on there. It literally just fell off my hand, but now you can see a bit more the extent of the corrosion on this thing here. And interesting in this car, there's practically no rust under here because most of it's aluminium. This thing here is obviously, for me, it's just mild steel. Anyway, that's the drive shaft up there. Goes all the way along to here. It's a spline drive in there. I'll have to probably do a wee bit of research into that just to make sure we can get that off. And no doubt there'll be a special tool we'll need for that. But hopefully should be alright. But yeah, apart from that there's zero rust on this car. Apart from these stupid bits here. I wonder how much it would cost for a stainless steel exhaust. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Anyway, right, I shall carry on. Here we are. So I'm working on my own today without apprentice part, and I've managed to get the exhaust off. So I've taken it off up here. And interesting, look at the amount of oil that's in there. So just above that is the turbo actuator valve. But you can see round about here, there's a bit of oil coming out. That's that left hand turbo. And I was going to just decide to take the exhaust off here and get rid of that light. So take the exhaust off here, this bit here. And I thought no, and it's actually not too bad to take it off from up there. Now let's have a wee look up here. You can actually see the underside of the turbo. If I can get my light up there. So that's where that's coming off. You'll see the wee bit of the turbo that's up there. So it isn't too bad. A wee bit awkward to get to the bolts, a couple of wee trays to take off, a couple of sensors to take out, which was fairly easy to be fair in the grand scale of things. And we got these sensors, just disconnected them. Rather than try to take them off, I just disconnected them. But this one here, I don't want camera straight up. I took this one out, which is dangling up here somewhere. Yeah, so it's there. It was actually easier to take that out, and it came out fairly easy, to be fair. It wasn't too difficult to come out. So that was fine. I've got one exhaust bracket here, which came off fairly easily. But do you know the biggest and hardest part of this was getting these brackets off the exhaust hangers. So these ones here, I just unbolted them, so I did, but the other two, which are around the side, I had to literally cut them off. I just could not get it to move. I would have probably got it to move maybe if apprentice Pat would have got his bed and helped me, but there you go. So that's us. We've got the exhaust off. The next thing we need to kind of start looking at is this viscous coupling here. It goes into the rear diff, and apparently there's a special tool. So if I had a bit of a look into that, is basically this nut here. I'm trying to go over because I'm wiring this exhaust. Yeah, so that's a 52.6mm open-ended spanner, and I haven't measured that one yet, and you'll notice there's a wee mark on there lining that up. So we'll uncouple that, and we'll take the other side of the drive shaft off, and that'll leave us some room to get this under tray out with all the rust on it. It's a bit of a debacle to get all that off. So it is. Got my light back up here. My camera keeps switching itself off, so I do apologise if it's a bit bitty. So yeah, there's the under tray there. We need to get that centre bearing out as well, which looks fairly straightforward. And we will get the fuel tank shield taken off. Put my light away again. Right, so this is the viscous coupling we need to disconnect, and there's a nut on here, and this is the other bit you need to hold. I think I should have an open-ended spanner for that. Anyway, here's our new 52mm spanner. Actually, it's not that bad a fit. It's 52.6 it says in the drawing. It's fairly tight. In fact, if anything, I'd say it was a wee bit slack, but I think that's actually going to fit perfectly. So my plan now is to try and put like a 1/2 inch or a 3/8 hole in that to allow me to torque it to the factory specifications when I put the drive shaft back on again. So that's that. That was a bit of a winner. It's pretty good actually. Right, let's move in. Right, let's go and make a hole in it. So the plan is to cut that round hole into the shape of a 1/2 inch drive socket. And I'm going to use the Dremel and a bunch of wee carbine burrs just to try and shape that as best I can. I thought I had a square file, but I don't seem to have one that small, so I'll have a go at this and see how we go. If I make a rip-roaring arse of it, we can always move the hole and do it at another point, maybe up here somewhere. So there we are. It's a pretty good fit. I've probably just slightly overdone it a wee bit, but we're wee ball bearing there sliding in to lock it in place, so that's what we're looking for. In order for us to tighten that, which is fairly okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So that's our tool for our viscous coupling. Not quite exactly as the JLR tool, but you know what, it'll do the job for 14 quid or something like that for a spanner off Amazon for a one-off job. That should be fine. We should be able to top that to about 150 once it's on. I might cut it here, I'm not sure. I won't cut it until we've actually got it on and we're trying to take it off, or try to put it back on again, should I say, but hopefully that will keep its strength there, and we're fitting is pretty good. So that's that for now, and that was on hyperlapse there. Probably took us about maybe 5-10 minutes, but right, I think we'll go and have a go at taking it off. Right, okay, we're back at it, and the plan next is a couple of things. We're going to remove the DPF pipes. There's a small screw up here, and there's one back up there, which is the actual DPF differential pressure sensor. So if you ever needed to change that, you can do it fairly easy, but obviously the exhaust's in the road. I think look at this wee thing. Just take that out of the road first before we start taking the drive shaft off. Looks like there's just two small Torx bolts in here. Slack there. I'll turn it with my gloves, to be fair. Okay, that's it. I'll just take that right out because I'll no doubt lose that. So I will. Okay, the one at the very top is a slightly different size. Really reach it up there with that. I can't even see if I'm turning that, or if it's just stripping on me. Stripping. Right, I'll come back to that. What I'd like to do now is just to mark the position of the drive shaft, so that when I'm putting it back on again, I know exactly what position and where it goes. So I may put a yellow mark here, and I'll put one here. Hopefully they'll stay on. Get some more paint out the stick. Right, okay. So, I'll come back to this thing, but now I should be able to at least move it out the road or pin it back there. Yeah, maybe that's a better idea. I'll just keep that. It's just to allow me to bring the drive shaft down. So these bolts here are E16. So I've got that on a wee swivel. I don't know how tight these are, and I also need to look up the torque specifications for them. Yeah, I'll have a wee go at that. Oh, aye, they're tight. tight. I need to make a bar on there. I think that one turned. Yeah, it did. Definitely turned. Yeah, it did. That'd be good if we snapped these, wouldn't it? Right, so that one's turned out. Try and do this one without the extension, so a bit more purchase on it. I think I will need the extension for the ones above. The wobbly bit is stuck. Gee whiz. I think that turned on that there. Just not good. I think my wobbly bit's sticking. There you go. It's broke. You wouldn't believe that, would you? You couldn't credit that. Right. Well, thankfully that's what that was turning and not the actual bolt being stripped. So let me go back in, see if I can fix that, and we'll get back onto it. Right, we're back. And I'm wiring all sorts of things here. So, my wee 3/8 floppy bit is broken. I managed to slacken these a wee bit, which is fine. It's all good. I think I got this one as well. Hope I got this bit. Not much flexibility in this. Okay, that was slack. Knock my light over. I'll try that again. Get a wee bit slacker. Slack. I think the problem is with this one here. Now I probably could disconnect the back and just rotate that, but I can't rotate that because the wheels are sitting on the ground. I dare say if I started the car up and put it into neutral, but I really don't want to do that. So we'll try this one from above. I'll try half of that extension. Yeah, there it goes. It did move there. It's just a bit awkward. Once I get it cracked, I'll get the power tool on it. Hopefully that'll buzz it off. I just wanted to break them with the ratchet. It looks easier than it is, I'll bet you. I've got two knuckles on this. now, so I shall get the impact tool and just try and buzz them off. Right, impact tool. There you go, that's one out. We'll stop with one started. I've obviously got Loctite on them, or thread lock. So this one next. That's tight. Or I need a new battery. Still a bit tight that. I'll get the smaller ratchet, I think. Right, that's better. Not too bad, it's just the guns would have just needed a new battery in it. That was slack. Probably never been up before, that's the problem. There we go, number 2 of 4. Three of 4. Actually get the gun under it. Gun's dead now, I think. But got it out, got it out. And that's number 3. And now we have the drive shaft slackened. I should be able to take the other end of it. I've got a couple of marks here, 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 because I know that's all going to come off. That was a silly mark right there, but there and there. And I'll just get my wee pen again just to mark that there. Right, I think we're all right with that. Now my next challenge is just thinking about this. So to take this fuel tank shield off, turn my light right. To take the tank shield off, we've obviously got a number of bolts. And I'm just wondering, so I'll need to go back to the drawing board, are they actually holding the tank in place? So if I take these bolts out, with the drive shaft off, obviously, is the whole tank going to come down, or is it just the undershield? And I'll need to go and look and see if there's anything actually holding the tank onto the chassis. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to have a wee look at that, just to see if we need to do something slightly different.